I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Happy Friday! Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in to Inspiration from Anger. Today, I'm flying solo. Um, as I've told you before, networking is very important to me. And I actually have a networking event later on, so I need to keep this a little bit shorter than my usual episodes. So, welcome to season 1, episode 8 of Inspiration from Anger. The topic, as has been for the last few weeks, is still the power of networking. I'm so happy to be able to have this platform where I can share my thoughts with all of you and hear what you also have to say. So please, if you're watching this live today, please drop me a comment and let me know where you are tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to make you part of my show. Let me check out the comments. Good afternoon to you, Elise van Straten. Thank you for being here. Awesome to have you tuning in today. Please pardon the fan. I have my fan on. It's super hot here in Toronto where I am. Good. And Gail is tuning in. She says, good, great, fabulous morning. It is a gorgeous rainy day. Something about rain feels very cleansing and motivating to be hunkered down in my office today. I can imagine. I'm happy it's not raining here. Good morning, Gabe. Thank you for being here. It's awesome to have you. You are such an inspiration, and I love following you along in your week and in your journey. So thank you. This one's going to be awesome. Good morning, Chrislyn. Good afternoon, Chrislyn. Actually, let us know, please. Please drop me a comment and let me know where you're tuning in from, everyone. I'd love to be able to share that with my network. It's awesome to know that there are people from everywhere tuning in. And then we have Nasreen. She says, hey, everyone, and happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday, sis. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, as always, for your support. I appreciate you. Gabe says, I love the solo stream. Yes. I do find it somewhat intimidating because it's not a conversation. It's almost like a monologue. But this way I get to have a conversation with you more as opposed to having a guest in studio with me. So I like that too. And there we go. Elise is saying hello to Nasreen. I love to see the interaction between my viewers. It's so awesome because it's networking in the comments. Everybody that's tuning in has a heart and a heart for people, right? Which is what I love. So trust me, these are awesome people. So connect with each other. You never know what can come from it. And I have another comment. This is from Raven. She says, hi, Auntie. This is my niece, and she's tuning in from South Africa. Thank you, Raven. Happy to have you here as well. Oh, and it says LinkedIn user Nasreen. Can you tell me who it is, please? You would know. Nasreen is saying hi to Elise. And Nasreen, this is the person that says, hey, Inga, I can't see who it is. So that's why I'm asking you, Nasreen, if you could please check. Thank you. Elise is saying hello to Gabe. And Gabe is saying that he's tuning in from Dallas, Texas. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. Chrislyn, all the way from South Africa. Thank you for being here, Chrislyn. There we go. I'm seeing lots of awesomeness coming in, and people are connecting with and speaking with each other. That's awesome. I love to see that. Good afternoon from South Africa. Thank you. This is such a wonderful and diverse community of beautiful individuals. Absolutely. I agree with you, Gabe. And that's why I love to be able to have this platform where I can connect and speak with you all. And there I have Scott tuning in from Oregon. Hello, Scott. Thank you. And I will see you later on at the networking session. Gail is saying here in Canada, in Windsor, Ontario, on the border with Detroit, Michigan, just for context. Thank you, Gail. Oh, and it's Denrich. Hello, Denrich. We need to fix your settings so that we can see it's you. But thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you know. So today, I want to continue the conversation regarding networking because it's so important. And it ties into one of the words that I have in my introduction video, which is Ubuntu. And most people don't actually know what Ubuntu is because it is not a Western word, right? It is an ancient African word, and I'd like to put up the definition for you so that you can see it. It's an ancient African word which means humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. And one of the things that I know about Ubuntu, and it because it's a word that I grew up hearing, and my understanding of Ubuntu is that we are a community, that no man is an island, that, raising a child is not just the responsibility of the parent or parents. It is the responsibility of the whole community. So if something happens to your child in the street, somebody else is going to be there to look out for them, even if you're not there. That's what I love about Ubuntu, because what it means is that we get to pour into the lives of others. We get to contribute. We get to inspire, uplift, motivate them. That is what Ubuntu means to me. It's almost tangible because I know that it's beyond just being kind. It's beyond just liking someone. It's beyond even love, because what it means is you are invested in that person. And that is what is so heartwarming to me. So, if you watched my intro video, you would have seen all these pillars that I base my life on: love, family, gratitude, empathy, home, Ubuntu, etc., etc. And those words are not just there because I felt like putting them on my intro video. Those are my core values. Those are the things that make me who I am. That is why I have used them in my intro video. And so it's my intention that every season that I will have will revolve around one of those words. And now Ubuntu is part of it. And yes, my season has continued. I'm already in the 8th episode, and it will continue because there are so many different ways that we can approach that word and that we can approach networking, right? Networking is really, really powerful. And what it means is that we create a community around us, like Gabe said earlier. This community of people that we have around us is so awesome. And what I love is that the people that I have grown together with and who are now part of my tribe are like-hearted people, like-minded people. And I've spoken about this before, but I will say it again. My life statement, the statement that I base my whole life off of, is to positively impact the lives of others, whether it is through a smile, through a kind word, just connecting with that person and seeing them for who they are and their heart and just loving them and embracing them. That's who I am, and that's why I am cultivating this network around me of like hearted people. So, I've spoken about the power of networking and also the power of social media. Many of us don't actually like social media, or we didn't like social media. I can say that that is true for me. I hated Facebook because of the way that it has turned out, where people are just using it as a window to peep into others' homes and into others' lives. And I feel that, um, for me, I actually was at a point where I didn't want to be involved with social media. I actually extricated myself and I put my account on hold because of that. But I now see that social media is really a tool that we can use to cultivate and build and grow with one another, especially now in this time where, the pandemic has forced us it's really forced us to take things virtually as well. Yes, we are slowly, gradually going back to doing things in person. But to be honest, I prefer being online. Not necessarily because of COVID-19, but just because it's so much easier. I can go from one meeting with somebody in Dallas, Texas, to another meeting with somebody in South Africa within minutes. You can't always do that when you're in person, right? Unless you're flying, and then there's the added cost of flying between, and never mind the accommodation. So for me, I love virtual networking. But it is awesome to meet those who I've met virtually as well. A few months ago, I started working with somebody. She's in the comments. Her name is Gail. Gail and I started working together, but we had met each other virtually. And like she said, she's in Windsor, Ontario, and I am in Toronto, Ontario. And when we started working together, it was only virtual. Now we have been able to meet because Gail traveled to Toronto, and we were able to meet in person, which was really an awesome experience and something that I loved, right? So, yes, things are maybe going back, but only to a certain extent. I believe we will always have a hybrid world where we can interact virtually as well as in person, depending on the circumstance and depending on where we are, right? So, all this to say, for me, I have embraced networking and changed the way that I use social media. I used to only really consume content, watching those funny cat videos or even some beautiful nature ones. And that was what I did with social media. But at the beginning of this year, I made a decision that I would change the way that I use it, especially LinkedIn as a platform. And so now I've become not only a consumer of content, but a creator as well. As a result, all of the clients that I'm currently working with are those who I have met virtually and through networking and social media. I've also met so many awesome people who have poured into my life and allowed me to pour into theirs. And I've been asked to be part of a wonderful organization called Heart to Heart Business, or H2HB. I now serve as an executive board member for Heart to Heart Business, and I am the executive director for Heart to Heart Business North America. Our mandate is to change the way that people do business all over the world. And we're going to be doing that through our three pillars, which are an e commerce platform, coaching and mentoring, as well as community building. So let's go back to the comments, please. Oh, I think this is Denrich. He says, great definition, Inga. Thank you, Denrich. Gail says, networking has changed my life literally. And it all starts with curiosity and not judgment. Absolutely. Absolutely. She also says, I might add Ubuntu as well. We get to contribute, help, inspire, and motivate others, and then reap so many benefits. Exactly. You know, networking is more about, I need to put this up actually. I have So, what is the definition, firstly, of networking, right? Networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. So, somebody says here, her name is Suzanne Rowan. She says, networking is an enrichment program, not an entitlement program. So, what does that actually mean? What she's saying is that when you connect with someone, it's not just about what they can do for you. It's actually the opposite. It's about what you can do for them. Value, value, value. Always bring value to someone else. So back to the comments. Gail says, and I know Inga walks the walk. Thank you, Gail. To paraphrase a quote from the movie As Good as It Gets, Inga makes me want to be a kind of person. Thank you. That's very, very, very special. And here is Dandridge, and he says, humanity should be our first religion, path, principle, way of life. World would be much beautiful and happier. Exactly. And I am with you, Inga. Thank you. Oh, should I go? Osama in the house. Hello, Osama. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. He says, how are you doing, sister? I'm doing well, my brother. It is Friday, like Nasreen says. So I'm looking forward to the weekend and I'm looking forward to your show with Nasreen. Let me know in the comments what time it is on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. I think it could be around noon or 1, but please confirm. And Usama says, hello to everyone. Nasreen says, I'm with you on virtual networking, sis. Yes. If not for virtual networking, Nasreen, you and I would never have met. Even though we're from the same country, like I am originally from South Africa but live in Canada, I never would have met Nasreen because I actually don't really travel to Durban. When my family and I go and visit South Africa, mostly we go to Cape Town. And Usama is saying hey to Nasreen. Nasreen saying hi to Usama. Someone else is saying hi to Nasreen. Tim, hello. Thank you for tuning in. It's awesome to have you here. Oh, look. You guys are so funny. Love Tim Son. Yes, we love you, Tim. And I love all of you. Good morning, dear. Good morning, Ilona. Thank you for being here. Awesome to have you. Ilona is also somebody that I met. I actually met her on Clubhouse. So, you know, there are so many different platforms, but we need to use them as tools to help us and to help us grow. Are you saying I should say love? Hi, Tim. Oh, and Isama says it'll be at 2 p.m. EST. Looking forward to the chat with Nasreen Adam. I look forward to supporting you there. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. So, back to the topic. Something that I wanted to highlight for you is by Helen Keller. And she says, Alone, we can do so little, and together, we can do so much. And that is so true. Earlier this week, I spoke about impact and how we as people believe that we can only make this little bit of difference. That's not true. We all can make an impact. And if we band together as a community through utilizing things such as networking, social media, and especially the idea of Ubuntu, we can make such a huge difference on each other's lives. Earlier this week, it was the International Day of the Girl, Monday, October 11th. I am the mother of three daughters, and so girls are very special to me. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the history of the International Day of the Girl. It actually all started by it was started by a former Canadian member of parliament. Her name was Rona Ambrose, and she led the global movement to establish the day itself. The resolution was formally adopted by the UN to declare the International Day of the Girl Child on December 19th, 2011. Since then, it has been a day to honor girls' rights and to promote their empowerment. By celebrating, protecting, and educating the girl child, we empower her. And by empowering our daughters, we empower their communities, which means empowering nations, which is so, so, so powerful, right? There's a saying that goes, girls' rights are human rights. And this means that girls have a right to everything that people in general have. And I know that that may seem like something that is that should go without saying, but unfortunately, in the world today, there are many girls that actually don't have these rights, and they need us to stand up for them. What this means is that girls should have a right to education, a right to live free from gender based violence, a right to comprehensive sexual and reproductive health information and healthcare, as well as a right to economic opportunity, self determination, and to have their voices heard and respected. May we always strive to help girls the world over to have equal rights and opportunities. If you don't know, I know I've been speaking about this a lot, but I need to say this. Um, H2HB or Heart to Heart Business is planning an event that will take place in Cape Town, South Africa in 2022. The reason why this is something that we are building towards is because my family and I will be traveling to Cape Town, South Africa in January of next year. I felt that I would love to be able to put on an event on behalf of H2HB. And because I have three girls, period poverty is something that is very near and dear to my heart. So, some people may be asking, what is period poverty? Well, period poverty is something that impacts people all over the world, regardless of where they are. This is because there are so many girls and women who actually don't have access to feminine hygiene products. This can be, it can be impacting many different things. And for some girls, This actually means that they can't go to school because they don't have access to these items. So, the event that we will be putting on in February of 2022 will serve to address those needs. And what we as H2HB we are striving to do is we want to impact a group of girls or women that come from impoverished backgrounds that don't have access to these feminine hygiene products. And we want to give them not just the throwaway ones, we want to actually give them reusable ones that will be able to help them for at least 5 years. In 5 years, there are 60 months. What that means is that for each person that receives a package like this, it can help them for 60 periods. It is sad that there are people that have these needs, but we can go beyond feeling sad for them. We can band together and work to address it through the means of like things like what we're doing right now, where we are planning this event. Or you can do your little bit by contributing toward a cause like mine, or even just going and buying some of these and handing them out to somebody that is in need. During this event, we not only plan to give them a care package, but we would like to serve them with a three-course meal because many of these girls and women actually have never had the opportunity to enjoy something like that. And while we know that they are our core group of people that we'd like to impact, they also come from families who probably also don't have a meal for the next day. So, what we're planning to do also is to give them each a package to take home, which is a food parcel to help them to cover their meals for the next few days or weeks. We also are striving to give them access to some medical staff, right? So we have a nurse lined up that will help them address feminine hygiene needs and teach them how to take care of themselves. And we're looking to get a gynecologist that will help them to educate them about issues that plague us as women. So that's what we're planning from H2HB side. And, every day we can all strive to do a little something to make a difference for somebody else. I need to wrap up, but let me just go back to the comments and see what you all are saying. So, Tim Sohn says, is it time to dance yet? No, today is kind of like a serious conversation, but that's fine. And he says, impact. Yes, impact is so important. One of my favorite quotes is by Kevin Cruz. And it says that life is about making an impact, not an income. And the reason why I stand firmly behind that is because I believe that if I strive to do something good for somebody else, I know that it will come back to me. Whether it is karma or whether it's just God blessing me, that's the way that it is, right? And Selma says, mic drop. I thank you, Selma. Some more networking going on in the comments. Hello, Selma, Tim. Gail says, period poverty is something I have learned more about thanks to me. Thank you, Gail. We aren't always comfortable talking about this topic, and yet periods are a part of life and not just an issue for girls or women. Exactly. And here's Alden. He says, wonderful. And Alden is the CEO of Heart to Heart Business. And I want to share with you all when I shared my vision with the rest of the team, at Heart to Heart, the executive board, I remember Alden's reaction and John's. And like Gail is saying, it's not just an issue for girls and women. And I remember how, how the two of them, even though it's like we think periods are, it's a girl's issue, right? Or a women's issue. The two of them, Alden and John, really impressed me because they said, yes, let's get behind this and let's plan this event. And it touched me so much that I cried because I knew that with with the four of us as the executive board for Heart to Heart Business, being behind this issue and planning an event, we would be able to make an impact. And that, yes, even though we feel that periods is something that only impacts women, there are men out there who are willing to stand together with us and address this issue. So thank you, Alden, for all that you do and for your heart and for your love. And Aya says, what am I missing? Are you talking about the period poverty event? Yes, I am. Aya, thank you. And Nasreen says, period poverty is really a very sad issue. It needs more exposure. It certainly does, and it begins with us, right? It reminds me of a story, and I'm going to tell you the story and wrap up. It reminds me of a story of a young boy that was walking along the beach, bending down and throwing something into the ocean, and walk a little bit more and bend down again and throwing something into the ocean. And an old man came across him and watched him doing this, and he wondered what exactly he was doing. And when the boy came closer to him, the old man could then see that he was actually bending down, picking up a starfish that had been beached and throwing it back into the ocean. And he kept doing this, and so the old man said, what are you actually doing, young man? And the boy said, well, I'm throwing these starfish that have been beached back into the ocean. The old man said, there are miles and miles left of beach. You're not going to make much of a difference. And because there are so many starfish laying scattered across this beach. And the boy looked at the old man. He bent down. He picked one up and he threw it back into the ocean. And he said, I just made a difference for that one. So today, I'd like to challenge you all. Why don't we all strive to reach just one? Making a difference starts there, and keep going. Before you know it, when you look back, you will realize that you've actually made quite an impact. So, have yourself a fabulous, fabulous weekend, and I'll see you back here next week, Friday, for my episode 9 of Inspiration from Inga. Thank you, and I'll play my intro video again for those of you that missed it. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and be blessed. Take care. I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here?